That led to our first round of IVF, had a miscarriage.
Our second round of IVF in Barbados, believe it or not. We did not come back with what we were expecting.
Down the road, that led to embryo adoption. We went through a high-risk pregnancy. We had a C-section, went to the NICU, and this is The Long Way There, a podcast about infertility, loss, and what it really takes as a couple to get the family that you've been believing for.
Yes.
Through all of this, when we first found out about our infertility diagnosis, I searched all of the IVF infertility content. I absorbed it all. I wanted to know all of the things that I was getting into, especially when I realized that it was my body. And I'm like, what in the world is this like foreign concept? But as we traveled through our infertility journey, I realized that maybe there wasn't any content or any information for the people supporting me, aka you.
Yes, that's where I come in as the husband, and I'm right there with Sarah all the time. And trust me, when she was consuming content, she was consuming content. It was almost absorbing her life. Every single minute that she had when she was doing her makeup or just getting ready for the day in the car, she was listening to a podcast or talking about a social media post she saw or something along those lines. And
I needed to learn that content. I needed to know what was, going to happen to my body, what I could expect emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of the things.
Yeah. And so with that, I obviously creep in and I listen every once in a while, and there just is no content for men out there. It's mainly pointed towards the woman and their body. And, you hear stories about some men and their experiences going through some of these podcasts that you listen to, but it's never really the man side of the story and what that looks like. And there's no content or even support for me to go to. I know when I listen to podcasts, it seems as though like the people that are talking, it seems like I'm a part of the conversation. They're part of my friend group and I feel part of that community. And I just didn't have that through this whole process. So I'm just hoping that talking about it from the male's perspective and just talking about it from, our experience, that it can show more for the other men out there that this is something we go through too. And there is support too for you guys.
So before we dive in too deep into all of this, let's share a little bit about who we are and kind of why we are doing this later. So we met in college. Yeah. I almost said in 2020 for our wedding.
It seemed like such a long time ago, though, to be honest. Yeah. College.
I'm like, what year is it? I don't even know.
Yeah. 2015.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
11 years ago.
Is that 11?
Yeah.
I can't really do math.
That's math for you.
Okay. Girl math.
Yeah.
I like that. So share with me from your perspective of kind of how our meeting came to be, because it is quite...
It was awkward for both of us,
yeah.
I would say. So freshman year, at the beginning of second semester, I was actually switching dorms. And lo and behold, I was going into the dorm room that Sarah was in. Yes, it was a co-ed floor. Males on one side, females on the other. And when I was just bringing my clothes in, like putting them in my dresser, like getting everything set up, just moving in, I had a couple friends that, lo and behold, me, they go run over to Sarah's room and drag her over. And they're just like, you have to meet Sarah, like introduce yourself. And
it's a true story. They came in and I don't even remember what I was doing, but they're like, oh my gosh, like there's this new guy on the dorm floor. Like you got to come meet him. And I didn't actually know that they were trying to set us up, but
I kind of knew. Yeah. That's just them.
I was kind of oblivious.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just literally just putting clothes in my dresser, and all of a sudden Sarah just is at the entrance to my dorm. I'm just like, hey. And
you were putting clothes away. I remember that. And I was just like, hey, how's it going? You're like, yeah, good. And then it was kind of sitting there and I was like, all right, well, I'll see you later. I walked away. And I was like, wow, that was like the most awkward interaction But then afterwards I was like, well, maybe, it'd be kind of weird if someone came in and interrupted me and I'm putting my stuff away. Kind of seemed like a very serious guy at the time.
Yeah.
But how did we kind of start dating? I know we had little gym dates you would take me on.
Yeah. Those
You
are my
actually
favorite.
probably have a little bit of a better memory than me in some aspects.
I remember Sarah was difficult, to put it the least.
Never.
Yeah, right.
I had to make sure that you were the right one.
Even I asked you out for the first Valentine's Day, and you denied me.
I did.
Explain.
But I have a reason for that, because Valentine's Day, I do like that. I like to be pampered, all these things. But I hate it when we were in the dating scene and there's the pressure for you as the man to have to get me something. And for me as a woman, sometimes, I don't know, to have to get you something. So I'm like, I just don't want to do any of that. I don't want the pressure. And so then I said, no, I will not go out with you on Valentine's Day, but I will the very next day.
Yes. So I did technically get turned down on Valentine's Day, but made it up afterwards and went from there. We probably dated for a good 4-ish months before I took you to the park and I got all your favorites. I got you.
This was so good, guys.
Before celiac days, I got her not Jimmy John's.
Get it right.
Yeah, my bad. I got her Urbits and Gerberts, her favorite sub at the time. And then I had gotten her a large pickle because she loves her pickles.
Like the giant pickles. I mean, like the juicy, delicious ones.
The good ones.
Yeah.
And then a Capri Sun and then flowers. And we went to the park and I asked her to be my girlfriend.
He did write me a kind note. And it was very, very cute. Can't remember all the things that it said, but that's when I kind of knew. I was like, wow, he's the real deal. Like, he's trying.
Yeah.
He knows me. And I feel like that still hasn't changed today. Like, throughout all of the years, I feel like you just, like, know when you get and you understand me, which is crazy. For another topic later.
Yes.
Okay, so some of those early memories, I know some of the good times. We did the college shenanigans. What was one of the good stories that you remember?
I would say, yes, we had some drinks every once in a while, if I should say that. Yes, don't tell the parents. They had an open pool night one night at MSUM, and I remember going there and I was trying to show off and I went off the diving board and I just had like the biggest back flop ever. And there was
proof because his back was about as red and as like almost lumpy. Like I think there was welts.
Very bad.
I think there really was.
Yes.
Welts.
Luckily I was a little intoxicated. However, should I have been swimming in a pool that way? No.
Probably not.
But after that, we left immediately because we were not in the right place or the right mind state to be in a pool.
Oh,
But yes, that's a good memory that I have. That was one of my favorites from back then.
That is too good. Continue on. I think one thing, speaking to us as a couple, we have obviously been through a lot. We're here because of infertility on this podcast. But we also have experienced long distance relationships. So there was a time right when we started dating, I was from, Bemidji, he's from Moorhead. So I went back home for the summer because I didn't have a job and all of those things here in town.
Yep.
And then, I worked my butt off and he came to visit because I was saving my money because the very next semester, the January semester, I was going to Hawaii for 5 months. And so that really put a strain on our relationship, but I feel like it also kind of built a foundation looking back.
Yes, looking back. In the moment.
Absolutely horrible, and it was awful.
I would not suggest it to anybody. Long distance is so tough, but now that I look back.
We also were not, I feel like.
We were mature enough in our relationship.
Yeah. I feel like if it were to happen now, we could do it, but we also were very fresh from that.
Yeah, when you have the jealousy factor, feeling left out, obviously the time zone changes.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Hawaii was fantastic. The sunshine was great. I had class 2 days a week.
And some classes were snorkeling in the ocean.
I got to hike the volcano for my geology, whatever.
Yeah, you can't even remember.
I don't even know. We looked at
You're
all
in
the
Hawaii.
volcanoes and stuff. It was great.
Yeah. And just going through some of those times, it was a very difficult time. There was definitely moments during those couple months that I did not think we would last or make it.
It was also winter back home, so that was not like winter depression time.
Yeah.
So not fabulous.
Yes. So yeah, I would say through our whole journey, we have had a lot of ups and downs, but I think those downs, especially now that we bring it into our infertility, those are some of the things that make us probably the strongest couple that I think we are right now. Mm-hmm. So it's all about perspective, looking back at those times and where we started, what we went through, and where we are now.
Yeah. And to add into all of that, you proposed and you used our kitty Echo.
Yes, cutie.
So that was really cute. And then fast forward quick, we went and decided to get married in 2020, but we had no idea that we were going to be planning a wedding for
during a pandemic.
Thank goodness it was in September. So where we live, we were having an outdoor wedding because it was going to be fall and the pretty colors. But yeah, thankfully we lucked out and we were still able to have our outdoor wedding.
Yeah. We got really lucky. It started raining like 10 minutes before, and we thought it was going to be a nightmare where we're going to have to go inside. It was very cold that day. I remember September was like 50 degrees. I was freezing my butt off at that time.
I think it might have actually been like 45 or something.
Yeah.
But it was crazy because the weekend before it was 70 and the weekend after it was 75 and sunny. So of course, but rain, I think, really set us up for that sprinkle of good luck.
Yes, it did. That's what everybody kept saying is.
I'll believe it.
Yes, if you have rain on your wedding day, it's good luck. So I do believe that. But yeah.
And then here we are, 6 years later. So let's dive into a little bit of what we have been through. Yes.
So the biggest thing for me in the start of our whole journey started back in college after we were dating, Kallman syndrome. And then that led into my low semen levels. And then also kind of just leads into the whole infertility route with Sara and her workup and her medical background as well.
So yeah, that led to our first round of IVF. And then we learned about my diminished ovarian reserve. We had a miscarriage. We lost Eden, which really put a strain on our relationship, probably hitting rock bottom because we grieved very differently.
Yes.
And then we did a lot of research.
Yes, lots of research. And the research led us to our second round of IVF in Barbados, believe it or not. Barbados was something that we totally did not expect. And we came back empty-handed. We did not come back with what we were expecting.
And ultimately that led to more grief. But then down the road, that led to embryo adoption. And from there, we did our transfer. That transfer was successful. We went through a high-risk pregnancy and all of the things. And we learned that our daughter had IUGR, in uterine growth restriction. We had a C-section, went to the NICU, and
here we are 5.5, 6 months later with just the happiest little girl ever, Sedona.
Yes. So that is a little bit about our story. So we will dive into those more. But really, I think we have the lived experience to help a lot of people. And I think that's really why we started this podcast, right? We didn't necessarily always have the specifics to go to. But is there anything that you can look back on feeling like, oh, I needed to hear that at the beginning of my journey?
Yeah, I think that other people are going through this as well. Like I was stated before, there wasn't a lot of content out there for the male side of things. I kind of felt like I was going through it alone. I know Sara was going through it, and all the content for her was about the female side in her body specifically. There was nothing particular for the male side in my side of the story. So I feel like that's something that can be shared more, and something that I wish there were other people sharing their story from the male side. So I felt like I had that community, that backup, and that support there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think looking back, I had my church groups, my church groups to lean on, and I had a few mentors that I saw right away that guided me through that fertility process. So I kind of want to be that for somebody else now. Looking back, that was really valuable for me in that transition. And ultimately, there have been people reaching out to us who have asked us how we've done things, how we've gotten through, what to expect. And so really, we want to share that here. Knowledge is power, and we really want to be able to make sure that with the rising numbers in infertility, IVF, and different ways to build your family, we want to make sure that people have that. And then also how to make it through as a couple. I think that is a huge thing as well, some of the gaps that we've noticed.
Yes. And I think one thing too that we found along this whole journey is our faith. We have built such a strong faith with God, with ourselves, with this whole process. Without it, I don't think we would be here where we are today.
Absolutely not.
It's such a mental battle. Yes, it's physical, but mental battle constantly, 24/7. You're going through it in the middle of the night when you wake up. That's all you can think about is what's next? What's my body doing? How is Sarah reacting? How am I going to combat this tomorrow? Because I know she's not going to feel the best. Just that faith piece is so important. And for us to share just a little bit about how that has helped us, I think it's very paramount for other couples out there too, to have the faith in whatever you believe in. Just don't give up and have that hope and faith.
Mm-hmm. And whatever partner you have, rely on them to really get through, because I wouldn't have gotten through without a supportive person like Brady, who, like I said, did all of the things.
I want to say all the things too.
Most of them, yes. Besides the hard part of getting injected and the C-section and all the things. But
I wish I could take that from you so much, but that unfortunately...
I actually almost think you did have the harder part because you had to support me through all of that.
I would say that is shots are difficult, and I know they're terrible for you especially, but the support and just like having the ability to like hype Sarah up like every day, like we can do this, like it's literally like multiple times a day you're giving shots and you're trying to like help out, and you feel so helpless, but you got to keep trying. You got to keep trying to put positivity into it, bringing the light to it. But no, Sarah did a great job during all of it. So I'm super proud of her and her body.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a first great episode that we have here. Mm-hmm. If you are on your own long way there, I hope you stick around. I hope we can be that joy and that, just inspiration for you to keep going. Like I said, we've had that lived experience. We want to be your cheerleaders. We want to be there with you right alongside, just battling through. And so if you like something from this episode, please share it with others. We want to spread the word, spread the love. Like I said, it's a growing, unfortunate thing in the world, and we just want to make sure that people have that community, have that support. So we would love that if you would share, like it, leave a review, even after the first one. We'll take it.
We'll take the feedback.
Sometimes messy.
I forgot the rest.
He's supposed to say always real.
Always real.
So we'll try that again. Sometimes messy.
Always real.
Let's do it together.